75-year-old photographer's old photos lead to stunning discovery about late wife, and granddaughter's revelation adds a twist. Robert sat in his cozy living room, the soft glow of the evening sun filtering through the lace curtains. The walls were adorned with photographs from his past, each one a memory frozen in time. His fingers traced the edge of a framed picture of Teresa, her smile as vibrant as ever. "Grandpa, tell me about this one," Mia asked, pointing to a photo of a bustling street fair. Her curiosity was a balm for his weary heart. "That was taken during the summer of '82, Robert began, his voice tinged with nostalgia. "Your grandmother and I loved that fair. She always had a way of making every moment special." Mia listened intently, her eyes wide with fascination. Robert's stories brought a spark of life to his otherwise quiet existence, reminding him of the joy he once found in his work. Since Teresa's passing, Robert had felt a void that seemed impossible to fill. His days blurred together, each one a mirror of the last. He missed the purpose his photography had given him, capturing the essence of people's lives. "Grandpa, you should do something with your photos," Mia suggested one day, her enthusiasm contagious. "People need to see your work." Robert sighed, his gaze drifting to the box of old photographs he'd unearthed recently. "I don't know, Mia. It's been so long," he replied, though her words planted a seed of possibility in his mind. The idea of one last project began to take shape, a way to honor Teresa and leave a lasting legacy. The house was filled with the scent of fresh coffee, and Robert felt a flicker of excitement he hadn't experienced in years. "Maybe you're right," he said, more to himself than to Mia. He could almost hear Teresa's voice encouraging him, her spirit a constant presence. It was time to rediscover his passion and reconnect with the community he had once been so integral to. "Let's do it together, Grandpa," Mia said, her eyes shining with determination. "I can help with the interviews and the writing. We can make it a project for both of us." Robert felt a surge of pride and affection for his granddaughter. With her by his side, the daunting task ahead seemed a little less intimidating, and a new chapter of his life began to unfold. Robert stood in the attic, surrounded by dusty boxes filled with memories. He opened one and found a treasure trove of old photographs, each one telling a story from his long career. A picture of a young couple on their wedding day, children playing in a park, and a candid shot of Teresa teaching a class. These images reignited a longing within him, a need to feel purposeful again. "Grandpa, look at this," Mia called out, holding up a photograph of a sunset over their town. "You captured so many beautiful moments." Robert smiled, feeling a wave of emotions. "Your grandmother used to say that every picture tells a story," he said softly. "I think it's time I tell our town's story in honor of her." Robert's decision was solidified that night. As he sat by the fireplace, he could almost hear Teresa's gentle encouragement. He knew this project would not only be a tribute to her, but also a way to reconnect with the life he once loved. He began to plan, envisioning a book that would capture the essence of their town and its people. The next morning, Robert shared his idea with Mia over breakfast. "I want to create a book, a photographic journey through our town's history," he explained. Mia's eyes lit up with excitement. "That's an amazing idea, Grandpa. We can interview people, gather stories, and really show what makes this place special." Robert felt a renewed sense of purpose as he and Mia brainstormed. They made a list of people to interview and places to photograph, each one holding a special significance. "We'll need to work hard, but I think we can do it," Robert said, feeling more alive than he had in years. The project was no longer just an idea. It was a mission to honor Teresa and celebrate their community. That evening, Robert and Mia began reaching out to their neighbors, explaining their project and asking for their participation. The response was overwhelmingly positive, with many eager to share their stories. Robert felt a warmth in his heart, knowing that he was not only preserving memories, but also creating new ones with Mia by his side. Robert and Mia set out early one morning, their cameras slung over their shoulders and notebooks in hand. Their first stop was Mrs. Lucy's house, an elderly woman known for her vivid stories about the town's past. Come in," Mrs. Lucy greeted them warmly. I've got some tea brewing and plenty of tales to share. As they sat in Mrs. Lucy's cozy living room, surrounded by antiques and framed photographs, Robert felt a surge of excitement. Mia set up her recorder while Robert adjusted his camera. "Tell us about the town when you were young," Robert prompted. Mrs. Lucy's eyes sparkled as she began to recount her childhood memories, painting a picture of a bygone era. Robert snapped photos as Mrs. Lucy spoke, capturing her animated expressions and the warmth of her home. Mia asked thoughtful questions, drawing out rich details that would add depth to their project. "This town has seen so much change," Mrs. Lucy said, her voice tinged with nostalgia. "But the spirit of the community has always remained strong." Their next visit was to John, a local historian who had spent years researching the town's history. "I've got some old maps and documents you might find interesting," John said, leading them to his study. The room was filled with books and artifacts, each one a piece of the town's story. Robert and Mia pored over the materials, finding inspiration in every corner. As the weeks went by, Robert and Mia interviewed more residents, each one adding a unique perspective to their book. They visited the old church, the school, and the town square, capturing the essence of each place through their lenses. "This is going to be something special," Robert said one evening as they reviewed their work. "I can feel it." Mia nodded in agreement, her eyes shining with excitement. "We're not just creating a book, Grandpa. We're preserving history, connecting generations, and honoring Grandma's memory." Robert felt a swell of pride and gratitude. The project was more than he had ever hoped for, a journey that was bringing him closer to his granddaughter and his community. Despite their enthusiasm, Robert and Mia soon encountered obstacles. Some residents were reluctant to share their stories, fearing that their memories might not be as important as others. "I'm not sure I have anything worth telling," one neighbor confessed. Robert reassured them, "Every story is valuable. It's the little moments that make our town special." Accessing certain historical sites also proved challenging. The old mill, a significant landmark, had fallen into disrepair and was now off limits. "We need permission from the town council to photograph it," John advised. Undeterred, Robert and Mia attended a council meeting, presenting their project and requesting access. Their passion and dedication swayed the council, granting them the permission they needed. The logistical challenges were matched by the emotional ones. As Robert delved deeper into the project, he often found himself overwhelmed by memories of Teresa. One afternoon, he discovered a stack of her handwritten notes among his old photographs. She was working on something similar, he realized, tears welling up. Mia hugged him tightly. "We're continuing her legacy, Grandpa. She'd be so proud." Support from the community grew as word of their project spread. Local businesses offered to sponsor printing costs, and volunteers helped with research and interviews. "This isn't just our project anymore," Mia said. "It's everyone's." Robert felt a renewed sense of purpose, driven by the collective effort and shared goal of celebrating their town. Amidst the challenges, Robert and Mia found unexpected allies. Mrs. Lucy introduced them to her cousin, a retired librarian with a wealth of knowledge about the town's history. "I've got some old photographs and journals that might be useful," she offered. Each new connection enriched their project, adding layers of depth and authenticity. As the book began to take shape, Robert felt a profound sense of accomplishment. The challenges they faced had only strengthened their resolve. "This is more than just a tribute to Teresa," he told Mia. "It's a testament to the resilience and spirit of our community." Together, they pressed on, driven by the stories yet to be told and the memories waiting to be preserved. One afternoon, while sorting through Teresa's old notebooks, Mia stumbled upon a journal entry that caught her attention. "Grandpa, you need to see this," she called out. Robert came over, his heart pounding with anticipation. The entry detailed Teresa's plans for a similar project, one that aimed to capture the essence of their town through photographs and stories. "She was doing exactly what we're doing now," Robert said, his voice filled with awe. "It's like she's guiding us." Mia nodded, her eyes shining with tears. "We have to include this in the book, Grandpa. It's like she's still a part of it." The discovery added a new layer of significance to their work, intertwining Teresa's vision with their own. Inspired by Teresa's notes, Robert and Mia incorporated her ideas into their project. They revisited locations she had mentioned, interviewed people she had planned to speak with, and included her reflections in the book. "This is Teresa's legacy as much as it is ours," Robert said, feeling her presence with every step they took. The inclusion of Teresa's work resonated deeply with the community. People who had known her were moved to share their memories, adding personal anecdotes that enriched the narrative. "Your grandmother was a remarkable woman," Mrs. Lucy said during one interview. "She had a way of making everyone feel seen and heard." This book is a beautiful tribute to her. As they neared the completion of their project, Robert and Mia felt a profound connection to Teresa and to each other. The journey had been as much about healing and rediscovery as it had been about preserving history. "We've done something truly special here," Mia said one evening as they reviewed the final draft. "Grandma would be so proud." Robert felt a sense of peace and fulfillment he hadn't known in years. The book was not just a collection of photographs and stories. It was a testament to love, memory, and the enduring spirit of their community. With Teresa's guidance and Mia's support, Robert had found his purpose again, creating a legacy that would resonate for generations to come. The day of the local exhibition arrived, and Robert found himself both excited and nervous. "I can't believe we're actually doing this," he said, adjusting his tie in the mirror. Mia smiled, giving his shoulder a reassuring squeeze. "You've got this, Grandpa. The town is going to love it." They packed up the photographs and notes, heading to the town hall where the exhibition was to be held. The hall buzzed with activity as volunteers set up the displays. Photographs were carefully hung, each one accompanied by a story or memory from a resident. Robert felt a swell of pride as he looked around. "It's beautiful," he whispered to Mia. She nodded, her eyes gleaming with pride and excitement. "It's a true celebration of our town and everyone in it." As the doors opened and people began to fill the hall, Robert felt a rush of emotions. Old friends, neighbors, and even strangers came to see the exhibition, each one adding to the vibrant tapestry of their community. "Robert, this is amazing," John said, shaking his hand. "You've really captured the heart of our town." The highlight of the evening came when Robert was invited to speak. He took a deep breath, stepping up to the microphone. "Thank you all for being here," he began, his voice steady. "This project started as a way to honor my wife, Teresa, and it has grown into something far greater. It's a tribute to all of you, to our shared memories and the spirit of our town." The audience erupted in applause, and Robert felt tears prick his eyes. "I couldn't have done this without my granddaughter, Mia," he continued, looking at her with pride. "And without the support of this wonderful community. This book is our legacy, a testament to the love and resilience that binds us all together." After the speech, people mingled, sharing their own stories and memories. The exhibition had brought the town closer, creating a space where past and present intertwined. Robert felt a profound sense of accomplishment and connection. "We did it, Grandpa," Mia said, hugging him tightly. "We really did it." In the weeks following the exhibition, Robert noticed a change in himself. The project had reignited his passion for photography and deepened his bond with Mia. He spent his days revisiting old haunts, camera in hand, capturing new moments and memories. The town, once a backdrop for his grief, had become a vibrant canvas once more. Mia continued to be his steadfast partner, their shared project creating a lasting bond. They planned new photo walks and interviews, each one an opportunity to explore and document the ever-evolving story of their community. "There's still so much to capture," Robert said one morning over coffee. "Our town has endless stories to tell." The book, now published, became a cherished keepsake for the residents. People would stop Robert on the street, thanking him for preserving their memories and celebrating their lives. "You've given us a gift, Robert," Mrs. Lucy said one day. "This book will be treasured for generations." Robert felt a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing that he had made a lasting impact. With each new project, Robert felt more connected to his town and its people. The sense of purpose that had once eluded him now filled his days with meaning and joy. He found himself mentoring young photographers, sharing his knowledge and passion. "You're never too old to learn," he would tell them, a twinkle in his eye, "or to teach." Mia, inspired by their success, decided to pursue a career in journalism. She applied to several colleges, her applications filled with stories and photographs from their project. "You've taught me so much, Grandpa," she said one evening, "about storytelling, about our town, and about the power of memories." Robert felt an overwhelming pride, knowing that Teresa's legacy would continue through Mia. The town itself seemed to blossom with renewed energy. The book and exhibition had sparked a sense of pride and community spirit, inspiring others to share their own stories and memories. Robert felt a deep connection to his roots, knowing that he had not only honored Teresa but also created a bridge between the past and the future. His days were now filled with purpose and joy, and he embraced each one with gratitude. Robert had changed profoundly through the journey of creating the book. He rediscovered his passion for photography and felt a renewed sense of purpose. His bond with Mia had strengthened, and he now viewed the world through a lens of gratitude and connection. Each day was an opportunity to capture new moments and create lasting memories. The success of the book inspired Robert to continue documenting life in their town. He started a new project focusing on the younger generation, capturing their dreams and aspirations. "Our future is as important as our past," he said, explaining his vision to Mia. Together, they planned interviews with students, young professionals, and new families, adding fresh perspectives to their ongoing narrative. Robert also began collaborating with local artists and historians, creating a community art project that celebrated the town's heritage. "Let's create something that everyone can be a part of," he proposed at a town meeting. The idea was met with enthusiasm, and soon, murals and installations started appearing around town, each one a testament to their collective history. Through these projects, Robert found himself mentoring a new generation of photographers and storytellers. He organized workshops and photo walks, sharing his skills and experiences. "You've got an eye for this," he told a young aspiring photographer. "Keep practicing, and you'll find your own unique way of seeing the world." Mia, now studying journalism at a nearby college, continued to be his partner and confidant. She often returned home on weekends to work on their projects, their collaboration an enduring source of joy and fulfillment. "Grandpa, you should think about writing a memoir," she suggested one day. Robert chuckled, but the idea intrigued him. He had many stories left to tell. In his twilight years, Robert felt more alive and connected than ever before. He embraced each day with a renewed zest for life, finding beauty and meaning in the ordinary moments. The legacy of Teresa lived on through his work, a constant source of inspiration. Robert had found his place in the world again, a place filled with purpose, love, and endless possibilities.